I entered the most vicious rut of my life in 11th grade, where I went from a straight A student to almost failing my class. These 4 months of my life were the worst moments ever because in these 4 months, I did every bad habit I could possibly do. I planned every single week to change my life. I would write down on my journal how I'm going to get out of this, how I'm going to study for 12 hours, and how I'm going to recover from whatever just happened. You see, it started off very slow. It started with me working less and then eating junk food and then slowly falling back off of exercise. And then next minute, I'm in the most vicious rut of my life till date. I'm watching Netflix for 15 hours a day. I'm doing every bad habit you could possibly think of. I have locked myself in this room. I haven't interacted with my parents for 4 months straight. Like there'll be days where I have went without seeing my dad or my mom. I was ordering takeaway, ordering junk food. I was 93, 94 kilograms, ugly, fat, obese, and I looked unhealthy. I looked like I needed some help. And all of this happened in the span of 1 to 2 months. And then it turned into a 4 month battle where I had to fight with myself, where I told myself many things. I made promises, but it never happened. If you are in a rut right now, or you want to predict ruts and not fall into them, then this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to give you both how do you get out of a rut and also how do you stop going into one in the first place. But before that, my name is Arsh and I talk about productivity, how do you work like the top 1%, self improvement, mental health, discipline, addictions. And the advice I give you is the advice that worked for me. So, a lot of advice that people give you on YouTube, on social media, these are the random cliche advices that you read on the books and they just parrot the same freaking bullshit. I'm going to tell you the things that work for me, and that might work for you as well. And I'm also going to share my journey with you into becoming the top 1% man. And this is just a process of me documenting my life, documenting me and my thoughts and the education and the learning lessons I've learned over the years, and just putting it all out on YouTube. So if you're into that motto, if you're into that, then you can subscribe to my channel and let's begin. So let's talk about forecasting a rut. This is what happened. I started by studying for 12 hours a day. I started by having a proper routine, principles that I would follow every single day. The time I would wake up at was 5 a.m. I took a cold shower every single day. And this is what I was doing 4 months ago before this rut. And for 4 months straight, I did this, studying 12 hours a day and following my day exactly how I wanted it to go. But slowly, what happened was I began to slack on small things. I began to end my study sessions a bit earlier. I began to not push myself harder. I began to not take my cold showers, turn the geyser on, and take some hot showers. And then I began to not check off all of the things in my to do list. I started checking off less things and less things. And then I started eating some bad junk food. Then I ate more junk food. And this turned into a vicious cycle. So, forecasting a rut is very simple. And this is how I do it now. Whenever I would not follow a single part of my routine or a small part of my routine, or I started to slack off with the things I would say or promise to myself and I don't complete them, or I start to do some of my bad habits, this is a clear indication of a rut, that a rut is incoming and it's coming your way very quickly. And this is the time you need to be immensely cautious of what will happen next. You need to be immensely cautious about your routine, about your actions. And this is the time where you can prevent yourself from going into this rut. So when you start waking up at like 10 a.m. instead of 5 a.m., when you start sleeping it late at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., watching movies, watching YouTube, social media, or Netflix, this is your clear indication that you're going to be in a rut very soon. So, how do you prevent this? You aggressively start to follow your routine. That's the most simple way I can explain you how to avoid ruts. Just aggressively start to follow your routine. Along with that, aggressively force yourself to rest more. What I mean by rest is not watching Netflix. or going on social media. What I mean by rest is just letting your central nervous system relax and don't give it any stimulation for like a couple of days. Take the weekend off, sleep for like more hours that day. And the reason why I'm saying you to rest in a way which gives your brain ample time to recover from all the stimulation and brain rot you have accumulated over the last couple of months is because second point is going to be forced rest. This is the single biggest way you fall into a rut. Your body has a homeostasis, it's a self-regulating system that stabilizes your internal state. So for example, let's say you take a cold shower. It's extremely cold, so in return your body shivers to make itself hotter. If you're, let's say, in a sauna, you get out of the sauna and now you feel incredibly cold. You sweat. So, if you're working for 12, 13, 14 hours like an animal, you're working all the time, you're stimulating your brain with like social media, and you're not allowing yourself enough sleep, enough rest, then you're going to fall into a rut. Your body is going to force you into taking rest, into taking time off. Many times it happens because of the accumulation of many days where you could have rested or where you needed to rest, but you didn't. You decided to push yourself even harder. And at one moment, you just give in, your body gives in, and it forces you to take rest. And the worst part about this rest is it doesn't even feel like a rest, it feels awful. So, before that 4 month period, before that 4 month run, I was pushing myself every single day and I was sleeping less because I was watching social media at the end and I was sleeping for 5, 6 hours a day instead of 7 to 8 hours of sleep, which I required because I was exercising, I was walking for 12 hours a day, I was doing all of these extra things. I needed rest, but I didn't give myself any rest. I should have taken one day off every 2 weeks to just allow my brain to recalibrate and relax and get rid of all the thoughts. I should have meditated more so I can get rid of all of these emotions and all of these stimulations that is just running through my brain, all of these processes that is happening in the background of my brain. So, if I recap, number one was forecasting your rut. If you start to unfollow some parts of your daily routine that you usually follow every single day for months, then you start to fall back off on one good habit. Let's say going to the gym, you slack on that. Then you slack on another thing. Then you start doing one bad habit. That's a clear indication that you're going to be in a rut. So, forecasting a rut. Secondly, you need to aggressively follow your routine. Along with that, you need to force yourself to take some rest, take some time off, take out a journal and write down what's going on, why you're doing this, and understand yourself a bit more. Do you need more rest? Do you need something else you need to do? Are you focusing on the wrong thing? Just understand that. Give yourself some time off of work and basically be disciplined in being lazy. You were always taught to be disciplined in work, disciplined in good habits, and that is okay. That's completely fine. But you need to be disciplined into being a bit lazy and take some rest. The third thing I'm going to talk about is overfried dopamine receptors. When you give your CNS too many stimulation, it screams at you. When you put yourself in front of bright light, loud music, modern day stimulants like social media, Netflix, porn, all of these things, when you put yourself through these things, your central nervous system isn't made to be exposed to so many sources of stimulants. Usually, 50 years ago, you would be only exposed to good stimulants like people, work, food, these things that were healthy for you. Now you're just exposed to every single kind of stimulant that is out there. People on social media, many people on social media at once. You have your followers, you have Netflix, you have I don't even have to name these things because you know what you're doing. So when you do something that is bad, that is instant gratification, dopamine overfloods your dopamine receptors and it basically gives you brain rot. You're degrading your baseline of dopamine, your baseline of happiness. You see, when you get depressed, it's usually because you have been living life like shit. You're just doing everything wrong. You're overstimulating yourself. You are destroying your baseline of dopamine. Every single time you get a hit of dopamine, yeah, you get a hit, it's a spike, it feels nice, but you know what happens afterwards? It goes down. And this was your baseline. It goes down below your baseline, and now you're less happy in general. After 50 times of doing the same thing, your baseline was here and now it's here. You know what happens? When you get another spike, you get the same amount of happiness with that spike, with that bad habit, and the spike reaches your previous baseline of dopamine like 5 months ago. So you're not even enjoying life anymore. You're just reaching your baseline happiness that you wore like 5 months ago. It's not pleasure that turns into pain is no pleasure at all. You need to understand that phrase. Pleasure that turns into pain is not pleasure. You need to pursue pain because pursuing pain will give you more pleasure. The most basic advice I give on my channel when it comes to fixing your mental health, when it comes to fixing your dopamine receptors and having healthy dopamine baseline, is just to live like a healthy human is supposed to live. I have repeated that phrase throughout my channel and I'm going to keep repeating it. Live like a healthy human is supposed to live. Go out, look at the sunlight, go exercise, go do some hard shit before you eat something. Don't eat like the modern day average man. Eat like a king. Meat, eggs, nuts, whole foods. Go journal, go meditate, be mindful, be present in the moment. Do things that are boring. Do like read a book. Watch some boring 2 hour long lecture on something you're interested in. Watch a podcast, something that is just unedited, flat, not flashy. It's just boring, filled with knowledge that will help you to actually recalibrate your brain for like the things that is supposed to make you successful rather than the things that is supposed to destroy your life and give you this instant pleasure. Let's say you're in a rut right now. Fourth point would be, how do you get out of a rut right now? We need to understand that 4 months ago, when you were able to study for 12 hours a day, when you were able to do all of these good habits you had and you were disciplined, that was 4 months ago. You were at level 60, level 70. Now you have level 40, level 30 skills. You have to lose your ego, let go of it, and understand that you can't study for 12 hours a day right now because you don't have the skill anymore. And this is the single most important advice that I didn't follow when I was in 11th grade. For 4 months, I was telling myself that I would study for 12 hours a day tomorrow. I was planning out my next move, my next week, how I would finish the syllabus, how I would work overtime to get that thing done and like complete that assignment or project. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't. You need to lose the ego. I could have solved that problem and gotten out of that rut in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I could have gotten out of it if I let go of my ego, if I had let go of my ego. So you need to understand that you're not that guy anymore. And it will take you maybe 2, 3 weeks to get back at that level. But your ego is not allowing you to do it. Your ego is telling you that you're the same guy you were before. And it's telling you that tomorrow I'm going to do the same things that I did 4 months ago. I haven't been doing those things for the past 4 months, but tomorrow is this special day, it's this special event that will change my life and I won't fall back into a rut. You need to understand that this is a lie. Lose the ego, lower the bar. If you were able to meditate for 1 hour a day 4 months ago, meditate for 1 minute a day tomorrow. If you were able to study for 12 hours a day 4 months ago, study for like 45 minutes tomorrow. If you were able to take cold showers, take normal cold showers for 5 seconds tomorrow, and then turn the like knob back to hot water if you want. If you were able to exercise for 2 hours like a proper gym session, you can exercise in your room for like 15 minutes, do some jumping jacks, do some squats, go out, walk, lower the bar. You're not that guy anymore. Lower the bar. That's what I should have done. And every single other time I fall back into a rut, I did this. And immediately within 1 week, I would get back at that level. 2 weeks max, and I'm at like that level again. I'm studying for 12 hours a day, 10 hours a day. I'm that person again because building back muscle you just lost is very easy. If you have been building muscle for the past 4 years and you skip the gym for 2 months, you lose the muscle, you lose some muscle, you can't do the same weight anymore. But it will take 2 weeks for you to get back at that level and start lifting similar amount of weights and get back like the muscle you had previously. It works similarly in every other life area, other skill sets you have, which is like working hard, having good habits. These are not just gone away forever. If you are in a rut for 4 months, it will take you 2 weeks to lower the bar and restart again at a lower level. If you were in the gym and you could bench press 150 kilograms and you haven't bench pressed in like 6 months, would you go for a 150 kilo bench press straight away after 6 months? Or would you lower the bar at like 80 kilograms? And let's see how you feel about that. Then you increase the weight slowly by 85, 90 kilograms. See how you feel. 2 3 weeks by, and you're doing like 130 135 kilograms. 3 4 weeks, 1 month, back to 150 kilograms. It took you 4 years to get to 150 kilogram bench press, 6 years to get there, and to recover, it took you like 4 weeks. But imagine that guy didn't lose the ego. He would have died. He couldn't lift a 150 kilogram bench press after taking off 5 months away from the gym. You need to lose the ego. Other advice I would like to give you if you want to prevent ruts is by avoiding the repetitive cycle and challenging yourself more. What I mean by that is, right now you're in a routine and you're doing the same shit every single day. And your life isn't interesting. You're not releasing or like you're not associating dopamine with your work, with the things that actually matter. How do you do that? Well, first of all, you make your work more pleasurable. So you release small, tiny amounts of dopamine while you're working. Secondly, you challenge yourself more. You set yourself milestones, small goals. And when you reach those goals, you release dopamine that allows you to stick to that thing you're doing, that work you're doing, whatever it is, for a longer period amount of time. And don't make it repetitive. Like repeating things is like very good. Like that's the key to success, is by basically acting like a robot and following a routine that works for you, that will make you successful, and do it for like 3 years straight. But make it a bit more challenging so you can associate some more level of dopamine with your work. So your whatever you're pursuing is like, now it's like more important because there's a goal assigned to it. There's a deadline you need to accomplish. So make it repetitive, but like associate your work and have some goals, have some challenges along with it, milestones. Secondly, is going to be creating systems. And I talk about this in my goal setting video, how do you create a system. So if you don't know how to create a system, you can watch that video. It's linked down below. And in that video, I basically explained to you in like in detail how I create systems in my own life, with work, with everything. You can create systems and objectify different elements of your work. So you can create a system with the feedback loop and make it so that every single time you complete the work task, it gets more efficient due to the feedback loop, and you don't fail, you get better every single iteration of the work you're doing. And with repetition of that system, you get better and better and better. And through failures, you recalibrate yourself and make a better system over time. Systems, like you need to have goals as well. You need to understand this. Every YouTuber talks about systems and not goals. Like, get rid of the goals and create systems. That atomic habits bullshit. I don't agree with that part. You need to have goals. The whole purpose of a system is to have an output, is to have a goal. So have a goal and create a system that includes resting, that like that forces you to be disciplined in being lazy. So take some time out and create a system that works for you. Third thing, focus on the process rather than the outcome. If you're going to focus on the outcome, you'll lose the motivation, you'll lose the drive, and soon you'll be in a rut. You'll be more tempted to go look for these other sources of dopamine, cheap dopamine, because the output from them is quicker and it's more pleasurable than the output from your work. Or like the output from your work is delayed as well. So focus on the process, not the goal. The goal isn't to make money, because you'll keep on moving the goalpost when you make the money. The goal is to enjoy the process. The goal is the process. The pursuit of that goal is the goal. So focus on the process rather than the outcome. Have the outcome in mind, of course, but focus on the process and enjoy the process more. I would like to give you more advice on how do you get out of a rut. If you're in a rut, get out. Get out of your room and get moving. Simple advice, but it helps so fucking much. If you just go out on a walk, look at the sunlight, and don't do anything for the rest of your day, just go out every single day for the next 1 week. Just go out, talk to people, just move out, keep yourself or move your body, drink more water, just these healthy things. Just start doing these small things that seem so small, yet it will take you out of this miserable state you're in right now. Second is going to be digital detox or dopamine detox. Take a step back from social media, take a step back from computers, from your phone, from all the people, from YouTube, from Netflix. Take a step back and go on a dopamine detox. Third, mindfulness. You know it's what's coming. Meditate for like 5 10 minutes or even 2 minutes at the beginning. Just start meditating, be more mindful, be more present in the moment, and it works. That's why it is the most given advice probably in the whole self-improvement community. meditate. Set small goals, set milestones. Like, if I can meditate 5 minutes today, read a chapter of a book, go out on a walk, I have won the day. Set small goals at the beginning. That doesn't feel that significant, but it will get you out of the rut way quicker. If this video helped you and you got value out of this video, then I would urge you to like the video and subscribe to my channel. If you are going through anything else, if you're going through more problems, you can leave a comment down below so I can work on making a video to help you specifically on YouTube and help other people who are going through the same problem as you. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you get out of this rut and this miserable state. Just lower your ego, just set small goals, and live like a healthy human being. And in no time, you will be back into living life again with energy and happiness. Thank you for watching this video.